This was the last time he made a big statement, but the so-called mini-budget just over 2 weeks ago caused maximum alarm. They now know they need to repair some of that damage, so the Chancellor's bringing forward his next big statement by a month, to October the 31st. But the original formula for tax cuts financed by borrowing worries many who, in theory at least, should be on the Chancellor's side.
Overall, do you just worry that the sort of shape of a plan that was set out at that so-called mini-budget is just not sustainable?
Well, we're about to find out, and the sooner we find out, the better, which is why I welcome these figures and forecasts coming forward as the Chancellor has announced. It remains to be seen. It's a very difficult circle to square without rowing back on perhaps some of the unfunded tax cuts that have been proposed so far.
One of the big questions for the public finances: by how much will people like Anthony see their universal credit go up? He and his family depend on it.
If we don't have something in action to help remedy the situation, a real thing like having our benefit in line with inflation like we were promised, then there's going to be more hardship, more struggling, more difficulty, more mental health issues, stretching the whole system far and wide. And the government just don't seem to be open to this fact.
The previous team of Prime Minister and Chancellor had promised benefits like universal credit would go up in line with inflation. The new team is not saying that yet.
What I would like to make clear, though, is that there's no screeching U-turn on this. This is genuinely policy being discussed at the moment, and the government is looking at all the evidence, which is the right way to make policy, frankly, and then the decision will be communicated.
The Labour leader says benefits should rise with inflation, and he's ready to work with Tory MPs to make that happen.
For the public looking on who are directly affected by the irresponsibility of this government, they'll be aghast. So anybody who wants to work with us to help stabilise the economy is very, very welcome.
They're under pressure to rebuild confidence in their economic plan, but they're also under pressure to find more money. This is going to be tricky.
Well, as you've just seen, Andy's had a busy day speaking to all sorts of politicians. He joins us now live from Westminster. Andy, good to talk to you live on the programme. So back at work, I suppose we could say, tomorrow for the Prime Minister and the MPs in that building behind you. How hard is it going to be for them to actually hit the ground running and start on the front foot, do you think?
I think it's going to be very hard for the government because basically there are now an awful lot of Conservative MPs who are prepared to take on their own side. Take that example of how much you put up universal credit, for instance. If the government decides, no, we don't want to put it up in line with inflation, there will be a significant rebellion by Conservative MPs to try and force them to do so. And I think that is going to happen again and again with whatever measures the government brings forward, severely limiting their room for manoeuvre. That is the nature of the problem facing the government. We'll find out just how bad it is from tomorrow when MPs return here.